Okay, I wanted to show you my garlic. This is just one. This is the wild garlic, and this is what happens when you put one of those little bulb seeds in the ground. The next year you won't get a whole thing of garlic. You'll get a tiny one. This one actually has three or four cloves, but it's kind of just one little garlic. We're doing this with the wild ones to get them going more, because under circumstances we kept losing all the seeds and not being able to get them going, and we only have a few of them out there, but I'm going to talk more about them later when I'm outside. So that's what happens when you plant one little bulb seed. You planted one of these, you'll probably get a whole clove next year, like a whole round with many cloves in it. But if you plant one little tiny seed, that is what you get, a little garlic. You can wait another year and that will get bigger, or you can pick it the first year, separate them, and put them out. I also saved the seed on the wild garlic, and that is what I would really like to show you outside. They're getting ready to harvest. My lobster mushroom, this is another one we found. We cut it up. Actually, I think I have it on my last weigh-in. I cut it up into thin little pieces, all the really solid pieces. You don't want anything that's buggy or dirty or whatever. You cut that all off. Make sure you have some nice red pieces though, because that's what stands out. You want to dry them, but either dry them in a paper bag, a few at a time, like that many in one paper bag, that many in another paper bag, that many in a paper bag, and they will dry. French is much better for drying, especially stuff like mushrooms. So I just put in this basket in the fridge and make sure that no meat or anything is dripping on here. That's very important. You want to keep it clean. I'm going to put another bag on top and it will dry out in the fridge, safe and sound. Okay, that's kind of zeroed out anyway. See if that can pallets on that. I don't think it will. There we go. These are the dilly beans that we made. We fermented them. We used the mallow leaves on the top and weighed them down with a clean rock. Something nice and smooth and hard so it's not dissolving in your brine. But there's fermented pickled beans that we made. I had a video, I had them in my video before, but we're going to make some more. I'm going to put these in a different jar, and I can reuse this jar again. Maybe some of the brine if I need to, but it's only water and salt. I used 3 tablespoons of salt. I used Himalayan pink sea salt, but you can use anything that doesn't have iodine in it. And water. In here, they were able to wedge them all in so they wouldn't come up, and it worked pretty good. And then the rock and that on top kept everything underneath really, really well. And you ferment them for about a week, and they were done. So, these, I'm going to really pickle them with vinegar, because I don't like them fermented. And these will be not fermented, they'll be in vinegar too. But the beans, I'm going to do more, just water and salt. Not much of choke cherries. We got them the other day. They're yellow. Can't find a messy house. artichoke cherries. Yum. I'm gonna make a jelly out of them. But the house is so messy because we're out in the garden and in the rabbits and making videos. That is chanterelle mushrooms. They don't weigh a lot. But we got some. They're really yummy. And you know, they can be like $20 or more a pound. But they don't weigh a lot. Like, you got a few mushrooms right there. And that is not a lot. So when you actually go to buy them, it takes a lot of mushrooms to actually get to that pound mark. Just so you know, you get a few of them, you're not going to pay $20. You don't even have a pound. It takes a lot of mushroom to make them a pound. Oh shoot, I made my pot on the floor. Okay, so all of those mushrooms is, I don't even, maybe a couple ounces. So, not very, very far from the pound mark. So, you can get some for supper if you can find them to buy them, or if you know what you're doing and you can find them in the woods, even better. They like moss and grass, but they can go in the leaf litter too. That is not a chanterelle. That is a wax cap. Sorry about that. That's kind of edible too, I think, but I'm learning more about wax caps before I eat them. But some nice, beautiful mushrooms that we found in the woods the other day. And we had more a couple weeks ago, but they're all, the ones that we didn't eat, they're dried out in the fridge. Because if you keep them in a bag like that, and you only have a few of them in a bag, they will dry out. And chanterelles taste lovely dried out. So, we are enjoying our harvest. My tomato thing is awesome. I haven't cut very many suckers off. Okay, my phone is really tricky to video with the other hand, and I'm covering my mic if I'm using my right hand. So my left hand is kind of, I just shut it off. Looking for more yellow ones there, but I don't see them more. I got 2 for the guys anyway. But there's a lot of other things growing around here. There's flowers. There's daisies all in there while they were growing up. I pulled the daisies out and they went crazy. But there's suckers that I haven't taken off. Because if I'm going to cover this in the fall, all of this is going to be dead from frost. It's only going to be covered from here over. So this I can actually cover. So why take the suckers off? So it's still giving me fruit. And there's a problem, I would fix it. But I haven't even, like, pruned in here. And look at the flowers are coming over and through the tomato. It's like living in harmony. The eggplant is even doing well with them. If this one might come out, because I don't want them growing. We have the volunteer tomatoes. They're coming on nice too. You can see tomato right in here. There we go. I think they're sweet 100s, and they're a red tomato, cherry, and these are a yellow cherry. We got these yellow cherry from Start From Seed Homestead. Okay. It's a one-handed when you're carrying veggies too. Sorry. But yeah, there's carrots and beets are doing really awesome. I'm thinning the carrot and beet out, and we're eating them for supper. We might not get enough to last the winter, but we are definitely going to have some, which is going to cut down on the grocery bill a little bit. But I wanted to show you the tomatoes getting along just fine on this cattle panel, kind of bamboo-y. Well, the bamboo is Japanese knotweed and cattle panel, and there is metal poles, 3 of them, or 2 of them, to hold everything up. There's solar lights on the top, so I know where I am when I'm in here at night. I haven't been out a lot at night, though. There's even salvia growing through there. So if things get too much crowding each other, move them around or cut them. And here comes Caveman here to help me carry these. Look what I got. I don't think they're perfectly ripe yet, but they'll be ripe tomorrow. Yeah. They're like a day away from being ripe. Sorry, I keep covering up the mic. I wasn't really going to show you too much in the garden, but the peas, man, I've been eating more than I've been weighing. These are so good. I don't think I've actually weighed them. I just showed you my handful that I was going to eat. I'm showing you a picture. But these ones here, they don't get very big. The other ones with the peas, or with the tomatoes, they get big. And they're coming out and falling down and over here. So all I have to do is tuck them in. And the bottom get dry, but not in here. Inside the tomatoes, they are not getting dry and dead at all. They are still growing at the top just fine. I wanted to show that to people that what is getting along, like that one's good for seed. So we're going to leave that one to develop a seed. And there's a lot of peas here. Snow peas, but they will get bigger, so you can eat them like a potted pea. And it's awesome. You need to go dig in. But the cherry brandy wine here on this end, I don't know if we're getting any yet. But we're getting lots of cherry tomatoes. We'll have to go dig in. But things will ripen. I just showed you. Those 2 that are ripe are not 2 that are sticking out in the sunshine. Were underneath the leaves. The leaves trap the gas in and will ripen things faster under here than out in the open in the sunshine. That's what they do. They spray them with gas, or they let the gas develop. I've seen so many of these. These are good mate for fishing. If I had a quail or chicken, they would love them. Now, that's my summer savory or winter savory, one or the other. I'm going to cut this back a little bit so it gets a little bit of light, but it was suffering, and now it looks really healthy and happy. So, some plants really want to get along together. These are my favorite. I like to pickle these too. I sometimes slice them or I leave them whole, but you can pickle them or ferment pickle, which is even better. Sweet potatoes, I've got a few all over. So we're going to see if they do anything before it frosts. Oh, we got a big zucchini here too coming. This is just a baby. It flowered today, and that's how big it is already. So it only takes that one. Well, it's ready. I can pickle that already. And that's what I like to do with my zucchini, or grain it up and put it on sweet potato and put them in the oven with cheese like a pizza. It's so good. I have so many little tiny crooknecks. They're about that big. They can get bigger, but sometimes the first ones get deformed before they get bigger. So you can take them off, like if it was raining or whatever when they got fertilized. Sometimes, like, I don't like leaving that on because it kind of rots. Or if they're way down here, sometimes they don't get fertilized. You can pickle that with the flour on it before the flower opens. After it opens, it's no good anymore. That, if it didn't fertilize, you can make it as a pickle today or tomorrow. We got another one over here. Another crookneck. They're just little, but you can let them get bigger. or you can use them little as a pickle. And the more you pick, the more it comes, right? All these mallow seeds, I'm going to put them out in my food forest hedge where it's sunny, and they will kind of grow in there. I've got roses out there, but I don't think it's going to bother them at all. So, oh, I wanted to show you one thing here too. This lawn, moon, look at that, artichoke, first artichoke. I've never, ever grown this before, and I am so excited. I think I'm supposed to let it get bigger, but before it opens as a flower. And there's a lot of coffee in here. I fed my coffee, but we talked about too much fertilizer can be a bad thing, and you don't want to give too much. Once a week is a little much. I usually the schedule once every 2, sometimes 3, but you can do it every 2, and you get really nice crops. So there's one more zucchini. These ones are just starting to get male flowers, so the female ones are coming. There's one here too. And the lady up the road, I'm excited to be able to share these with her because she can't garden anymore. She's in an apartment, and the one thing she really, really misses is zucchini relish. So this zucchini or the other one in there has her name on it. I'm going to let it get big for her. So we'll see how things develop. I'm so excited that I can share. That's a winter squash. That's a blue banana, Guatemalan blue banana squash. And it's growing out where it wants. We put a few of them in the food forest hedge. There's one more here at the back in zucchini. Like summer squash here where I can protect it and pull it all the time. But in the back, in the food forest hedge, I put the blue Guatemalan banana squash so it can kind of take over. So, oh yeah, we need to fill that water up. The catnip here is really pretty. I'll end the video right here because it is so gorgeous. Thank you. 4.5 pounds of beans. And a little tiny squash. This thing is weird. 2 flowers together. So I'm going to pickle that one too. And all those are going to be fermented pickled beans. They're really, really yummy. So that's actually an impressive pick of the day. Thank you very much. I wanted to share one more thing with you guys. That marking is not mold. Some zucchini and squash will have this marking, but they do get prone to get mildew and white spots and stuff, but this is not. This is just a leaf. It's kind of pretty. Some people don't like it, but I really like it. But I find sometimes instead of cutting my squash leaf off, these are hollow and it'll fill full of water, or a bug can climb in there easier. I like to just fold them over. Oh, look, my friend. Fold it over, and then light can get to things like sweet potato if you have something underneath it, instead of like trimming the whole thing back, right? So, I wanted to share. I didn't know my son was playing around with power tools. Anyway, here we go. These garlic are just starting to flower and put out their bulb.